Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion, Plays of Binding of Isaac. I'm joined by special guest, Tomo. You hear that? Oh, Tomo, you want to get up on the desk? Okay, here's the box. Here's the box, Tomo. You jump up. Just jump. You can do it, brother. I believe I've seen you. There he goes. Oh, Tomo. Then get in the box. Oh, and he's in the box. And once he's in the box, it's time for rest. Dude, 6 wins in a row. Have not random the nightmare character. This should be this should be a nightmare character? I don't know, man. Like, I actually think that the Lost is not really that bad. It's not urgently bad, at least. Tomo, you want to leave now? You just got here, brother. You just got here. Okay, you may go. Goodbye. Goodbye. Anyway, how you doing? It's a Sunday. Oh, jeez. Like, this room could kill us. This is actually a fairly terrible first room. Sorry, I'm a little hoarse today for whatever reason. I don't know, this is something that never started to occur to me until I was at least in my mid-20s. But I woke up feeling like I drank last night, but I didn't drink last night. I'm not saying, you know, nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea. I'm not saying I feel hungover, but like when I woke up, I was just like, my throat feels like I had one too many adult beverages last night. I'm a little hoarse. I gotta clear my throat now and then, but I had none. One too many Coke Zeros, maybe. I don't know. Or just a bad sleep, you know? Not a bad sleep, but just like, you know what, you just feel like 2% off. Just enough to be a little annoying. Just enough to have you asking people, is it hot in here or is it just me? And people are like, I'm fine. Forever alone? Okay. At least we got something out of the room. But I had a good Saturday. A complaintless Saturday. You know there's gonna be some Pokemon Go anecdotes here. I walked my Phoebus for 20 kilometers, aka, I guess it's like 12 miles, between Saturday and Sunday. Small rock, please. We got a bomb back. And I evolved it into a melodic. Is that what it's called? I don't know. I just did it because I had to do it for the new quest. Still, you might be asking, NL, you caught any Wizmeres? Absolutely not. Did you go out in partly cloudy weather? Absolutely. Did you use incense? Yes, I used 4 incense. I caught 0. So we're stuck on that one. But I gotta tell you, it's exciting news to anyone who's playing Pokemon Go. I've had 2 big quests stuck on capture a Ditto for like 4 months. Never see a Ditto. Catch all the common Pokemon, right? Yesterday, caught 2 Dittos. When it rains, it freaking pours. We also saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Quentin Tarantino's new film. And I'm trying to, honestly, I enjoyed the movie. Like, when I look back upon the movie, I was entertained throughout. But I also, if you haven't seen the movie yet, it's made a lot of money at the box office. So it's totally, I'm assuming I'm talking to a lot of people who have seen it as well. I didn't realize that it's much more of almost like, I don't want to call it existentialist, but you know that Simpsons episode, 22 short films about Springfield, where it's like a day in the life of like 15 different people in Springfield, without like necessarily a narrative event underpinning it to some extent. That's kind of what Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was like. It's way less of like, A happens, which causes a domino to fall, and then eventually Z happens, you know? What a crazy thrill ride. Instead, it's like, here's these characters, and then, this is what happens to them. I know that sounds like every story ever made, but maybe I've trained myself too much on Marvel movies, and I'm like, where's the man in the iron suit? So it's not that I didn't enjoy it. I enjoyed it. I'm still just trying to tease, like, how I felt about it. It's like, it was a very well-crafted movie, like, without a doubt. But as far as like where does it rank on my favorite Tarantinos, I don't know. It wouldn't be in the top like 2 or 3, that's for sure. I mean, I think number 1, you still got Pulp Fiction. Yeah, of course everyone loves it. Maybe everyone loves it because it's extremely good. Number 2 is honestly probably Inglourious B-Words. I don't know. Number 3, you got. I think we will take Void. It wouldn't be Kill Bill. Like Kill Bill Volume 2 might actually be like my least favorite Quentin Tarantino movie. Can I please get a key? A key, please? I like the Hateful Eight. I think I enjoyed it more than the average person. But anyway, this is neither necessarily here nor there. I'm just spitballing. You know, that was pretty much how my day went yesterday. Where do you think the secret room is? You think it doesn't feel like this is a common location for it? You gotta try, but it doesn't feel like that's a common location. So I don't know. I'm willing to take a chance on this. Maybe I shouldn't. Oh, I got very scared. That's the most pivotal moment right there. Oh my god, we got a key out of it, which is unbelievably strong. Pretty much exactly what we asked for. That could be, depending on what we get in here, or if we can suck it up and turn it into a good stat, this could be like, oh my god, it's the most pivotal moment you ever could ask for. Good lord. That's awesome. You know what? Let's look for a black market as well. That's pretty much my day yesterday. I was out for a long time. I mean, 20 kilometers of walking. I was out like 2 hours Friday and like maybe 2.5 hours on Saturday. I got a weird August tan. This is like the first time in my entire life I'm gonna be going to PAX Tan. People are gonna be like, "Oh, you're kind of like an outdoorsy guy," and I'd be like, "Well, you know, I go where the Pikachus go." I gotta make up like some kind of lie to protect my my self-esteem. I'm like, yeah, I was tuning up my motorcycle outside, but you know how the carburetors are on those old Harley Davidsons, and then everyone will be like, yeah, but they don't really know, and I'll be like, yeah, but I don't really know either. Dude, I forgot actually. So I have an amazing story. Just a truly blessed anecdote. And it happened on Friday, but it was after I recorded Isaac, so you didn't get to hear it in the earlier episode. So anyway, we were getting our oil change because, you know, we're headed to PAX. It's not like a long drive, but, you know, you want to make sure your car is ready to go, and we were due for an oil change anyway. So I took it in for an oil change, and then, you know, I got a call a couple hours later that was like, hey, your car is good to go, just come on over and pick it up. I go over and pick it up. There's a different person working there than was working there when I dropped it off. And I said, hey, I'm here to pick up a 2015 Ford Focus. And he goes, yeah, okay. Pulls out the file from the, you know, it doesn't really, it's kind of semantic, but, you know, there's a little place on the wall where all the files are. Anyway, it's not a filing cabinet. I don't know. It's more like just a filing unit. And he goes, okay, I got to tell you, we found some major problems. First off, both of your brake lights are out. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy. He's like, yeah, you know, you could get fined for that. And I was like, yeah, no kidding. Like, you can get a ticket for not having brake lights. That seems completely fair. And then he's like, actually, like, almost every light on your car is out. Your left signal light is out. Both of your headlights are out. Your right signal light is the only light that works. And I was like, what? This is insane. But you start to think, you know, Mr. Car Guy's telling me, so, you know, he's got to be right. And, you know, I don't look at my car while it's driving very often. I'm the one that's driving. So it kind of turns off the critical thinking part of your brain, right? You're like, maybe I've been driving at night with no headlights somehow. And not getting honked at all somehow. But anyway, then he's like, yeah, by the way, like, your check engine light is on. And I was kind of like, yeah, no kidding. It's because I needed it. It was telling me to get an oil change, brother. Which is why I brought it in here in the first place. And he's like, so that'll be like $125 if you want us to diagnose that. Plus, the leads on your battery are corroded. Now, we don't actually have to do anything about that. But, like, for 30 bucks or something, we can clean them. Because if you don't clean them, you're going to have to buy a new battery, you know, if you let the wear and tear get too much. I was like, man, this is... Like, I knew our car was kind of not great. But I knew it was not great because of, like, the transmission is all... You know, it's just flawed from assembly, you know? The fact that, you know, there's this much wrong with it, I was like, man, this thing's a piece of junk. And he's like, what do you want to do? And I was like, well, I don't know. You guys are closing soon, so I guess, like, I'll make an appointment next week. And he was laying it on real thick. He's like, yeah, you should make an appointment next week. Because if you drive this, the cops are going to give you tickets. And, like, to have us fix it will cost you less than the tickets you would get from the cops very, very quickly. And I was like, dude, you don't have to sell me. I got no freaking lights on the entire car unless I'm turning right in the daytime. And then, you know, he's like, well, you brought it in for a checkup, right? And I was like, no, I brought it in for an oil change. And he's like, it says here, you brought it in for a checkup. And in my head, I was kind of like, you know, pointing to my own head. And I was like, well, it says here. I brought it in for an oil change. And he's like, are you Clayton? And I went, nah, I'm Ryan. And then he went, you're not Clayton. And I went, nah, I'm Ryan. And he went, okay, 1 second. Then he went back into the filing area and he came back and he was like, oh yeah, your car's fine. That's... Get him, thank you. That's the end of that story. Is that he had... Well, not, it wasn't his fault, apparently. According to him, it wasn't his fault. But they had printed my name on somebody else's work order, and they were basically like, Clayton's car is a piece of garbage. He's got to get, like, a staggering amount of work done. I feel bad for Clayton. When he was like, oh, your car's good to go, I was like, oh, man, sucks to be Clayton. And he was like, yeah, dude, sucks to be Clayton. We've dealt with this, like, this shop a lot before, too. So, like, I know people are very skeptical of garages sometimes. They get you to get a lot of work done that doesn't necessarily have to be done. These guys, I trust them, you know, so they've never upsold us on anything before. In fact, we've had to, like, beg them to do work on our cars sometimes. You know, we're like, hey, we need winter tires. We're going to go up to Whistler. And they're like, you don't need winter. If you're just going to drive in now and then, you don't really need winter tires. And we're like, shut up and let me give you some money so we don't die on the Sea to Sky Highway. Anyway. So when they started giving me this laundry list of stuff that I needed to have done, I took it as gospel. I was like, oh, geez. First off, thank God we took it in before we ended up in the U.S. You know, I don't want to get stranded... I mean, I'm not saying it's dangerous, but I don't want to get stranded in a foreign country. You know, if you're going to have a crisis, you'd rather... I don't know if this is worth it. Dude, I don't know. We might actually be able to end our own lives using Monstro's tooth if there's no enemies around. So we got to be careful about this. I know it seems like why would you ever have to be careful on this run, but I think we do. Strangely enough. As long as we pop Mega and then go into other rooms, we should be fine. I would really like a respawn ability, though. Anyway. So Clayton's having a terrible day. But I was laughing. He was, like, very apologetic. He's like, oh my god, dude, I'm so sorry. And I was like, nah, dude. I'm not going to tell you this, but thank you so much for giving me an incredible anecdote. I'm going to tell that... I'll probably tell that story 20 times. I've already told it, like, 4 times. Got to tell it on the NLSS, and then, you know, next time I visit my parents or my parents visit here, and it'll be good. That's it's not an evergreen anecdote, but that's a good one for, like, you know, 2 or 3 months, I think. Yo, the frames though. Anyway, so that's pretty much been my weekend, you know. Pretty low-key experience this weekend, and you know, I'm hoping it's like a low-key PAX as well, to be honest with you. I'm recognizing, you know, an urge within myself where basically, like, nothing... You know, people, when they, I mean, I guess we want to suck this up, to be honest. Skirt. Get out of there. We don't want to get hit by Monstro's lung. You know how people say, like, nothing tastes as good as, like, skinny feels? I think that's not always true. Like, I understand the nugget of truth at the center of that. I will take yes. Although I don't think it's useful for us in any way now that I think about it. But, you know, here's the thing. Sure, nothing tastes as good as skinny feels. But you can also, like, indulge now and then. And, like, still be in great shape, you know? As long as you don't make a habit of it. I'm not like an everything in moderation, including moderation sort of guy. I think that statement is largely echoed by people who do not engage in moderation. They engage in a surplus of consumption quite regularly and habitually. But they're like, Oscar Wilde said it, so it's okay. But I have a corollary belief. And my corollary is that nothing feels as good as 8 hours of comfortable sleep. It's a very uncool attitude to have, and it's indicative of course, you know, getting a little bit older at least. No Krampus? No Krampus. Though it's freaking brimstone. We don't care about Satanic Bible. I mean, we could pick it up. I mean, I guess we should to try to get Bookworm, but even now, I talked about on the NLSS. It was a while ago. It must have been like 3 weeks ago. You know, Kate and I went to that fireworks festival, which was a lot of fun. And I think it was a nickel bag. Oh, a dime, even better. You know, we were there for a few hours. I had a couple of beers, and that night I slept like garbage. Woke up and was like, man, it was like not worth it at all. And when people say a couple of drinks, sometimes they mean like, yeah, I was drinking all day. I had like literally 2 drinks. You got 2 drink tickets in the area we were in, and like I had my 2, and then Kate was like, hey, you can have my second one if you want. And I was like, I don't, just give it to somebody else. I don't want it. You know? And then oh, I forgot I had Brimstone. I was like, why is this taking so long? Brimstone Polyphemus is amazing, but also modestly scary. In terms of charge time. Everything else is absolutely hunky-dory. Not that big of a deal to grab that. You know what? Maybe we will grab it, because I'll just... Well, do we want to... We don't care about sucking up Monster Man well. In fact, it could create a familiar that would be dangerous for us, so let's not. But you know, like... Sometimes, you know, on a Saturday or a Friday, because, you know, Friday night is basically, you know, the same as your Friday night if you work Monday to Friday. We'll go out for dinner, and, like, the opportunity to have a drink or something presents itself, and I'm like, I just don't... I just don't want to. I would much rather just have, you know, set myself up for an incredible sleep. That was so dangerous. I need to point out here, I know I'm staggering myself on the anecdote over and over here, but like, when you press the button to unleash Mega, it doesn't unleash Mega right away. And I'm pretty sure it's because Monstro's lung takes a second to come out first. That's my assumption, at least. We'll look, because a respawn might be worth it, but probably not. Okay, yeah, we'll just leave. But yeah, you know, I'm not a teetotaler. I probably have like a drink every 2 weeks, let's say. But I'm, you know, increasingly, I'm just like, dude, it's just like... The sleep is so good. I've become a sleepaholic. I just like to... Oh, no. You don't... I think I'm recognizing that, like... When I was, like, 10, I had life actually figured out. And I kind of... I'm not saying, like, I made major mistakes in my... Oh, jeez, dude, just get him. Major mistakes in my 20s or something like that, but, you know, in my teenage years, I was like, being 10 is stupid, you don't know anything. Now that I'm in my 30s, I'm like, man, 10-year-olds have got life figured out, dude. Go to school 8 hours a day. In this case, you know, work 8 hours a day. Come home, enjoy a little bit of leisure time, maybe get outside. You don't have to have a purpose for getting outside, just get outside, you know, do your chores, and then I mean, I'm pretty sure until high school, I literally got like 8 to 9 hours of sleep a night, and it slapped. Like, here's a question that comes up between Kate and myself now and then. Like, when did you go to bed when you were younger? I'll tell you, like, in high school, you know, you get more autonomy, obviously. You can make your own decisions. To a slightly greater extent, at least. I mean, at the end of the day, no one can force you to go to sleep, right? They can force you into your bedroom, but, like, you know, you can just keep your eyes open. But usually, I fell asleep around sometime between 11:30 and 12:30, and I got up at 6:45. So it's like a pretty... I would say probably an average amount of sleep. You know, 6 to 7 hours of sleep a night. On the weekdays, and then on the weekends, you know, you just sleep until whenever. But I'll tell you, I think I went to bed at like 9 p.m. and got up at like 6:37 until I was in like 7th or 8th grade. Sometimes I remember... Hold on. I do want the speed. What's the pill? 40. Dude, that's an amazing pill. Thank you. By the way, in case you're wondering, we should be good on the Isaac run, but I'm just... The Mega is amazing, but it's also just the slightest bit dangerous because of the active items we sucked up, and probably, if I could go back, would not have, because we would have an even easier time of the guaranteed win, but... I remember, like, we were in 6th grade. Beautiful. And our 6th grade teacher was asking us about, like, when we went to bed. And one girl was like, I go to bed at 11 p.m. And everybody was like, what the heck? That's insane. What kind of 6th grader goes to bed at 11 p.m.? Answer, her. So it kind of... It interests me, you know, when was your bedtime when you were younger? If you had a bed, I think structure is important. I think a bed, you know, getting a lot of sleep when you're young. Why? What else are you gonna do? Watch another episode of Peppa Pig? Paw Patrol? Why not, right? I want to be if the millennials, as we progress into, you know, the prime of our adult years. I want to be the generation that respects the quality of sleep a little bit more, you know? Too many generations before us, I'm not going to say they villainized sleep, but they saw sleep as like something that is easy to sacrifice when necessary. And I'm like, nah, dude, sleeping is like, it's like eating. If anybody talked to you and was like, oh, I haven't eaten in like 4 days... All I've had are, you know, like Hershey's Kisses. I've been so busy. You would be like, dude, take a couple hours off work. Go get yourself like a 3-course meal. Or so get some vegetables and some micronutrients or something like that. When people are like, oh, I haven't slept well all week. I've been so busy. People are like, yeah, dude, hitting that grind. Nah. I'm not about that life anymore. Let me out. If I have a kid, I'm telling you. There's one rule in this adult, or in this Laterno household. 8 hours of sleep a night, no matter what. Forgot where I was going with this. But anyway. This should be an easy win. Dude, I mean, you can't ask for a greater situation than Lost. Plus, I mean, Polyphemus plus Brimstone plus... Avoided Mega that also gives you other advantages. Anything short of... let me put it this way. I would give up like 80% of our damage stat right now in order to get 9 lives. I would do so willingly and gleefully. I might do it just for a 1-up. It doesn't even have to be for 9 lives. Please stop having long animations when you die. Never mind, I guess. Yikes, yikes, yikes. I'm telling you, not being able to move the beam as soon as you create it, a little annoying. There you go, short animation, no animation, no animation, short animation. Don't go in yet. I'd rather do one more room, I think. go in with Mega and just body him. Oh. Why did I get a charge there? I'm not complaining. I'm just surprised. Now remember, do not accidentally locomote into Delirium. That's all I ask. Dude, what a good run to restore and continue restoring some confidence. And you know what? It all flowed from when we went into that curse room. Nearly came face to face with our own demise. Instead popped out with basically Polyphemus. For now, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. See ya!